Let's see this equation. This one is not so easy to solve, but we see this conjugation here. See square root of x plus 1, square root of x minus 1, then this square root of x squared minus 1. Difference of two squares to conjugation is these two. Okay, so let's use substitution, right? When the equation gets too complicated, we like to use substitution method. Let's call this term A. Let's call this term B. Then A times B will give us this term, which is AB. So that means this equation now becomes this. Becomes this. But we want to write x in terms of A and B also. So how do we do that? Let's square A. Square A, we get x plus 1. Let's square B. We get x minus 1. Let's add those two equations. Then we get a 2x equals to a squared plus b squared. Then we divide by 2 on both sides. So x equals to half of a squared plus b squared. Now the equation can be written as half. So this x, let's change this x to be half of a squared plus b squared. Well, half is annoying here. So what do? Let's multiply by 2 with every term here. So let's multiply every term by 2. Right, because we're dealing with equations, we can do that. So multiply by 2, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. Then 4 multiplied by 2 becomes 8. So now it becomes easier to deal with this. So a squared plus b squared plus 2a plus 2b plus 2ab. Well, you see this 3 is perfect square. A squared plus b squared plus 2ab. Right, so let's write that. So that, oops. So a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. Let's keep writing here. That's a plus b squared. Then plus 2a, 2b. Well, let's factor out 2. So 2 times a plus b. That equals to 8. Well, if we're treating a plus b as one term, if we're treating a plus b, let's think of as a k. Of k squared plus 2k, if we add 1, well, we have to add 1 on both sides. So make another perfect square. So make a k plus 1 squared. Well, k is a plus b. So we make a plus b plus 1 squared. That equals to a plus 1 with 9. Well, let's square root both sides. Square root both sides. We get a positive, negative, 2 values. So square root both sides, we get a plus b plus 1 equals to positive 3 or negative 3. Right. So a plus b plus 1. We cannot have negative 3 because we're dealing with square root. Right? And also we're in real number system. So it's just take positive 3 equals to 3. That means a plus b equals to 2. Okay. Well, a is the square root of x plus 1. B is the square root of x minus 1. And so conjugates. So from here, we could square both sides, could go that way, or we could think another way. Because those two are conjugates, so if we multiply the whole equation by 1, let's only do one side actually. Let me erase this. So let's leave some space. So a plus b equals to 2. Now let's multiply its conjugate. Its conjugate is minus term, x square root of x plus 1 minus square root of x minus 1. Right? So this is just one way to solve this. All right. Then, of course, this is just multiplied by 1, which is something divides itself. And that equals 2. So the numerator, we have a plus square root of a plus square root of b times square root of a minus square b terms. So we have a difference of 2 squared. So we get an x plus 1, because when we square root, they cancel each other. We have x plus 1 minus x minus 1. Then divided by square root of x plus 1 minus the square root of x minus 1. So we'll get you see, x minus x is gone. 1 minus negative 1 becomes 2. So we get 2 over square root of x plus 1 minus the square root of x minus 1 equals 2. So from here, what are we getting? We're getting square root of x plus 1 minus the square root of x minus 1 equals 1. Right? So cross multiply, get a 2 times this equals 2. So we divide by 2 on both sides, we'll get a minus b equals 1. So a plus b equals 2. Okay, so I have this one. And now we have a minus b equals to 1. A minus b equals 1. So we could use these two formulas. We could add. Right? Let me just erase this. Remember, this is a plus b equals to 2. So I have this one equal to, now let's write a minus b equals to 1 here. So working with these two equations, add those two equations, add those two equations, so we get 2 square root of x plus 1. Add those two, this becomes 0, equals to 3. Right, divided by 2 on both sides, we'll get square root of x plus 1 equals to 3 over 2. Square both sides, we'll get x plus 1 equals to 9 over 4. Minus 1 from both sides, get a 5 over 4 for x. So the solution is 5 over 4.